All right, everyone, welcome back. We have our backup run here for the day. We have Portal 2 all main courses co-op by Plembo and Turkey. So, you guys go and take it away.
Hello, mediocres. I'll be Fridge. I'll be doing commentary today. I had a run earlier today, but I'm back. And then we have Turkey and Plembo who are going to be doing the running today. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
I'm Plembo, or your mom Pleblol. I'm Blue.
I'm turkey or some turkey with a computer, and I'm orange.
Yeah. So we're gonna start this run up, and then Giles ran this game before, so he'll know when to start time.
Yep. I'll still do a countdown, so that
Oh,
there's a little cutscene at
yeah.
the beginning that we skip here. So the timing will start in 3, 2, 1, now.
Hello, and again,
And here they
welcome
are.
to the Aperture Science
Hello.
Starts out with a little
Technique
beginning cutscene.
Enrichment Center. Today, you will be testing with a partner.
They're gonna be taunting here so that they can just keep the level moving, and they're gonna fall down, ping a couple things, and then they'll be off. This is the part of the run. Like, it's a bit boring, but hey, it's still fun.
Immediately after the boring cutscene, though, we're gonna go out of bounds.
True. And as you can see, they will be going fast.
There is a chance of soft locking in this first map, and we're just gonna hope that doesn't happen.
Your ping tool can also be. Blue is first to acquire a portal device. Orange.
So here they're going to be getting both players to the same side, and then Turkey's going to be standing in the portal so that Plembo gets shoved through the ceiling and out of bounds. And then to get back inbounds, Plembo is going to be 80 spamming into, or sorry, Turkey's going to be 80 spamming into Plembo, so that they get clipped inbounds to hit the soft lock trigger behind the door, and then they'll both be able to get through to the end for the dialogue to start. And then, speaking of these kind of end chambers, there's going to be one thing that's going to be pretty apparent throughout this. Sometimes they'll just be waiting in front of those chambers for certain dialogue triggers. And the common saying, imagine a bus. It's got stops. If you ain't there at the stop when the bus gets there, that bus is leaving you behind. You are going to be stuck at that bus stop for the foreseeable future until the next bus gets there. So, yeah.
Begin at this central hub. From here, we transport you to the new testing course.
But for some chambers, it won't happen. So, like, these first couple don't have any dialogue that controls the end of the level, so they'll just be going as fast as they possibly can.
Hello again.
Speaking of going as fast as we possibly can, the main form of movement in this game, you'll see us kind of moving our mouses back and forth. The main form of movement in this game is called bunny hopping. It's in a lot of Source games. It's basically, instead of moving straight forward, you're going side to side air strafing, which gains an unreasonable amount of velocity.
Yeah, kind of like the previous run with Half-Life, but this is going to be a bit more visible that they're going left to right constantly.
The winner is the one who scores the fewest possible points. I just thought you might find that interesting.
These first couple of chambers are just introducing us to basic concepts.
Yeah.
This map is buttons. We'll just be hitting buttons.
It's
Yeah,
mostly
and
just
this is-
intended but fast.
Yeah, and this is going to be what a couple of these are going to look like at the very start, just because there's not really any big tricks that save a lot of time or necessarily gain a lot of speed. We'll just be, yeah, intended but fast, as Turkey put it.
These tests are potentially
So you can see Plembo, he's just going to place the laser down as you normally would in a casual playthrough. Both going to get, and here they go. And then Turkey's going to have to kill these turrets, or those turrets are going to give issues later. So they don't get killed. And this is going to be that first instance of the bus analogy. We're going to see Plembo wait here at the elevator for a dialogue then he's gonna go in, and then the moment the dialogue fades, then the level is gonna continue.
At the beginning of this next map, I'm gonna restart level near the beginning of it. What that's gonna do is it's gonna give us the ability to taunt at the beginning, which saves maybe 2 seconds.
Yeah.
About.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's specifically air taunting, because they'll be able to do like the rock paper scissors taunt that they normally can do at the start, but here they can just hit air taunt and then they're on their way. Because the game now can no longer force them to do that long taunt. And then here's just more of that intended but fast gaming.
Oh, I just scooped.
This isn't quite intended though. So what happens there is the game doesn't check for the laser staying activated to the door. It just checks that the laser hit the receptacle at any point, which will keep the door open. And they're gonna do a bit of cube toss.
Yep. Getting that cube through the fizzler saves no time. It's just something to do while waiting for the dialogue.
Yeah.
I don't believe preserving cubes through fizzlers is used at all in the speedrun.
There's
it can
one
be.
alternative route, but we don't do it.
Yeah.
Yep. So in this map, we're just gonna hop over a big gap instead of doing it intended way.
Yeah.
That's not just flattery. You are great at science.
And doing that hop, and then you may have also noticed Plembo went away from the ending there at first. That's to get a better dialogue that is shorter than what it would have been if Plembo went straight to the door.
Yep. In both the single player and co-op campaigns in this game, dialogue is pretty much the main thing you're going for. You're trying to trigger the dialogue and then finish the level. You see a lot less in the co-op campaign than you do single player, but in co-op it's still very evident that.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Co-op is less pronounced than SP for those that have seen single player run of this game, because you have like a physical elevator and there's like different triggers that are physically in space, while this one it's just constant. It's just the game is constantly telling, asking the game, hey, is dialogue done yet? And if it's not done yet, then they wait a couple more seconds before asking. It's like that. It's like whenever you go on a road trip and there's like the kid in the back of your car saying, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?"
Okay, at the beginning of this map, we're gonna taunt. Jumping in the air and taunting there is quicker than doing that, which he just missed.
I went too early, and since I'm too good at the game tried to slow me down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Pretty
that
much.
also is what. That's also why the rat maze reset save time as well.
Yep.
Is to get that air taunting ability.
This is course 2. It's going to be a lot more. I mean, it's going to be a bit more of just intended but fast, but there's going to be some more larger skips that later towards the course.
Here, what Plembo is doing is called a reportal. So, by standing in the portal and then placing the portal that you're going into, the game will try to push you out of the portal so that you can't get stuck in walls and whatnot, which then is going to give you an extra 200 velocity alongside the player velocity.
No idea how tiring it is to praise someone for placing an
And then
My
Plembo made the ball
balls.
disappear.
Designed to exactly fit
Magic
an
trick.
edgeless safety cube.
This next map is awesome.
So this next map, honestly, I don't really know how this trick works. Fridge, you might. It's
So what happens here is that there is a scripted momentum trigger that's on the slanted platform that Plembo placed a portal on. And by Turkey going in and then out of that surface, he gets the scripted momentum, but in the opposite direction. Which gets them there quicker than just flinging intentionally.
This next map is team retrieval. Basically, all of the work here is going to be done by Orange. We're going to show off a button glitch, which is basically Orange jumping on a button for 1 tick, and it stays activated because of the way that the game is. I don't know exactly why it works. It just does. Yeah. He's going to hit this button to get this ball out. And he's going to hand me this ball, and then he's going to jump in the goo so that he respawns at the beginning of the
much
match.
better you are than blue. Blue, you are very good. They said
And
no one
then
would ever
to
die during
add
this
some more
test.
technical background, the reason
And
why
so
the
clearly I'm
game
wrong.
only sees it for 1 tick is the game sees that the button got activated, but then it doesn't tell itself that it got deactivated because orange was only on there for 1 tick, so only one call got recognized.
I believe this map is intended but fast.
Remember when I told you that you
Yeah,
were the
well,
only
unless you guys do
subject
ball
to
boost,
pass
but
calibration
We
tests?
don't.
I lied.
well then yeah, it'll
There
be
are
intended but
5,000
fast.
other two-subject teams
Uh,
in direct competition with you.
Creative is rolling in his grave, except he's not dead.
Begin
I got a little
tracking
bit of a
test
boost, but not
in
really.
3,
Yeah, a little
2,
bit.
1.
Yeah, I tried to slope myself off of that ball so that the ball would just boost me.
Yeah.
Okay, this map is another instance of out of bound. I'm gonna get something called quantum crouch,
Did you know
which
that
is
when
my
you
hitbox
did
being
the
crouched, but my
last
camera
I was confident
is not
you
crouched,
did
so I
it.
can peek out of
When you
bounds,
were
and since
alone,
portals come out of the
I was
camera,
outside watching
I can
some of
shoot
your
out of
fun.
bounds.
You don't even
The
Yeah.
care
turkey
to be
will clip back
outside.
inbounds and shoot a portal there, and we're at the end of the map. We're gonna taunt here to avoid a longer taunt.
Do you know who dances
I could have
around
messed
like
up
an
that
imbecile
strafe
when they
in the
accomplish
middle of that
tiny
map, and
things?
we would have had to
Humans.
restart, so thankfully I
That's
didn't.
what you look like right now. You're better than
I am
that.
very bad at that strafe.
Alright, in this map, there's a bunch of stuff that goes on in this first room, and the second room is just more of the same. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna bonk off of him on this catapult. Oh,
Oh, dang
or
it.
I'm gonna go on the catapult.
Fun.
Anyway, round 2, I'm gonna bonk off of him on this catapult and grab this cube through the dropper. And then Turkey is going to shoot on a seemingly not portable surface, but a very small portion of it is, and if you shoot it a certain way, then the portal appears.
It's called the Great Shot.
Yep. Here I'm gonna bonk off of him again. Oh, you're very far up on the catapult.
My bad.
Excellent work.
Then I'm gonna go through this portal, and because of scripted momentum, which was explained earlier, it just flings me because it assumes if you're over there, you're gonna have the speed to get through, and it just gives you the correct amount of speed.
But I find something troubling without the looming consequence of death.
I explained everything fast there, so if Fridge wants to touch up on some of it, he can.
I will mention that the way that Plembo grabs the cube through the dropper is you can technically do that in the single player campaign, but in co-op, whenever most objects are grabbed by the player, they become
Your test
uninteractable
shows
to
you're
the
going
world
too
around them
slowly.
because
Maybe
of
you are getting human
presumably
emotions.
because of
Do you
co-op
need
bugs that
real
were in
encouragement? Let's see if this
testing.
helps.
And then Turkey here is going to
You
do
are the
another
most advanced
re-portal
model of robot
to
which
get up to
science
the
has
catapult.
ever discontinued.
I missed that a bit. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I can't get in your portal.
And then here he's going to hit a dev button that the devs just didn't remove to
I think you
hit
have
the
earned a
button.
break from the official
or
testing
to
courses.
open the door.
This next map has a thing called view snapping.
Oh, yay!
For
Who wants
those
to
the
explain it?
uninitiated to ViewSnap exploits a thing that is in pretty much every game. It's not just exclusive to
You need to
source
find some
games,
blueprints.
but it's called pixel
Don't
skipping,
worry.
where if you
They are
move your
revealed
mouse a
just
certain
hidden.
amount, your
Totally boring
crosshair
and
will
useless.
move a certain
This
amount of
is
pixels.
just a thought
But then
experiment.
by turning your
Just to
sensitivity
see how
to
much
very high
time you
amounts, you
waste
can skip
thinking
the
about
perfect
these
amount of
worthless
pixels to hit
documents.
precise shots.
The correct
Which is what
time
both of them
0
did here
seconds.
to get to the disc a lot
Very
earlier
good.
than normal.
You found those useless blueprints.
Skip
I
the
do
fan
need you
in
to
the
be
map
the
called
room so I
Industrial
can see
Fan.
them. I
True.
want to be clear. There's no reason whatsoever for you to look at them. Done. I guess. I suppose.
In this lobby, this is the beginning of course 3. In this lobby, we're gonna taunt again to avoid another longer taunt. And it's more of the same, just portaling and hopping to the next course.
I don't know what you think you are doing, but I don't like it. I want you to stop. Maybe I shouldn't send you outside of the official testing courses. You are picking up some bad human traits. And trust me, humans only have one good trait.
That flag in the corner in the partner view is going crazy.
This map's called Co-op Bridges. It's another one where orange is a lot of lore.
This course was created and
He's gonna hop to over there and then do what's called a circle jump, which is how we start most of our bunny hops. To that surface over there and make the jump. That skips just a little bit of extra portaling. And here we're gonna do some strafing so that I can hit this button, and he can take the ball to over there and put it on the button.
Have you worked out the one good trait humans have yet? Let me give you a clue. It's the one thing you can't do.
Another map there that was pretty much intended but fast. Well, intended-ish.
Yeah. Intended, but a few small portal shots.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get ready to catch me.
I thought going back to these old tests would satisfy me. But try as you might.
And then
to
bridge
fail
swap
this
here
next
is
test,
gonna
I still
kind of
won't
abuse a
be
little bit of a
satisfied.
clever route where you can raise the bridge higher by just placing your bridge low or your portal lower for the bridge, which then will allow
I thought they
the
would've moved it into the testing
whoever is
track
on
Hall
top of
of
that bridge
Fame
to
for
shoot the final surface,
my
skipping a
deteriorating.
couple extra portals, couple extra bridge points.
I believe that was something that was known by Valve. I could be wrong.
I mean, likely it was known. It's a hard fix to have for the puzzle, and it probably was found late in testing. Would be my guess.
I mean, I don't think Valve really has a history of removing the clever solutions.
No, they definitely don't.
Can you believe this? You can't test plants. We
And then
tried.
this route's going to be pretty
They
cool,
just
and it's
sit
going to
there,
be
never
showing a bit of a
pain nor
non-intended /
fear.
intended
That
way,
is a
but
sign.
just angling the bridge in such a way to where the players ramp off of it
If
to
you
get to
were
the
human,
ending,
you would
rather
want
than
reward
placing a
for
bridge in
completing
front of
this
them and then
test.
underneath them,
A reward for
saving a
testing.
bit of time from what the
At
intended
least the
solution would
plants
normally.
didn't want a
I'm
reward.
pretty sure Valve did actually know about that one. There's an achievement for completing that map in a few portals, and you have to do that to get it.
Yeah. Forgot about that achievement.
I created this test to let the humans feel good about themselves. It is extremely easy.
And then this map here is one that I have not really quite understood,
sorry.
but
The
like
arrows
there
seem to have
definitely
rusted off.
is a solution
Good luck.
here. That
Congratulations.
I don't
Your
know.
ability to complete this test
I'll
just-
say I haven't solved that intended because the
You just
They
jump
describe
to the
it
end?
as
It's so
impossible,
easy.
deadly.
Yeah.
cruel. And one test
You just kind of
subject
jump to
even
the end,
had
and then the
code
even better part
broken.
about that is if only one partner makes it up there, there's a portal surface right next to the end door.
Yeah.
So it's pretty.
Probably one of the easier routes to learn.
Yes, definitely, because you can W jump off of that bridge and still make it.
Yep.
For this
Then here,
next
bridge
test,
pulling,
this-
humans originally
Turkey's gonna go
used a
oob
compass
very
to
briefly
avoid
so that he can get up to that
ranges.
upper surface a bit quicker.
Covering the numbers.
Struggling to get through the catapult.
Deadly was
Okay.
more
There we go.
cost-effective.
Weird.
Not sure what I hit there.
Yeah, it's probably there's like a big beam that just kind of is chilling there. And then here, Plembo is going to jump around this corner to shoot that shot a bit early so that they can both get onto the catapult and get to the end of it.
To try and make this course more exciting, I asked the reassembly machine to not reassemble you. He refused. I understand. That would be like asking me not to test. Still, that would have been exciting.
The next couple maps are some of my least favorite maps. The turret maps.
I dislike turrets in co-op.
Turrets in co-op are definitely funky. But
This is a bridge
let's see how they
building
do.
exercise.
so here they're gonna do a couple portal shots to just get them to the other side, and then they're gonna do probably one of my favorite just like individual moments where Turkey places a portal on in that wall so that both of them get protected in that moment. And then kind of just an
No
intended
one has ever completed
second
this
room,
test
really.
before. The
But
humans must have
fairly-
reconfigured it
fairly
from my
clean
original
run, all
plan.
things considered, for that map, considering how sometimes it can go.
This next map is more of just trying to hop past turrets without dying.
Yeah. And then this is also going to show another small movement thing where if Turkey's doing it, where if you are holding A against a wall or holding D against the wall, depending on which direction the wall
Okay.
is. Looks like some
Not
portal
sure what
shots
happened
got
there.
missed there, but what's going to be able to happen is with how the movement works. What is
cool.
happening?
I'm not sure. We're doing something completely different than what we did in practice.
Yeah, my bad. I did the blue route.
Okay.
I shot.
So what happened there was Turkey was doing the wrong route.
I was confused. Wait, no, my portal.
Oh no. And this just kind of happens.
What is happening?
And Plembo grabs the turret, kill it.
Alright, that was completely
sorry.
intended.
But with the wall strafing, if you hold, depending on which side of the wall is, it is, like if it's on the left or the right side of the player, you can hold A or D, and then just look slightly away from the wall and gain more speed than you would just straight. For that, it's mostly to preference to what blue wants to do, as long as orange is faster than blue, and blue gets portals down in time. But there was a lot that happened there.
Yeah, sorry. I was playing blue with a friend right before this, so it was just in my muscle memory.
And then bridge testing, we're gonna see a couple of funky things happen. We're just gonna see them kind of traverse some catwalks. They're going to grab this ball here in a pretty intended manner. Get on top of the file cabinet, throw it in there. And then here, Valve just didn't put a wall there to block a portal shot from going above the Fizzler. Which then will make it so portals can be placed to where they can get on top of the pillar way earlier than they would normally, and get the ball that way. And then here is a fairly new discovery, where if you jump into the portal, and then enter the portal in a certain way, you can ramp off of the this beam that's angled, and it will put you right next to the room. It can be a bit finicky at times.
Oh my. Yeah, this just happens sometimes.
I don't normally miss this. Fun.
There they go. So Turkey showed it there. They just slam into the left side of the beam, and then remember, you two, don't stand on that balcony area at the same time. Or
don't soft lock the game.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just completely failing this. I'm trying to show how it's done, but then I'm failing it. So
there it is.
Today's security code is
Yeah.
3341.
And then there's the end room. Turkey's just chilling over there getting QC or something. And then on to lobby 4, where they won't have to do any resets or they won't have to do any taunts this time. They just need to hit a trigger to activate the bridge, and then go on to course 4.
After your performance in the calibration
And
test,
this course is going to be showing a lot of funnels this time around. And this is going to bring up one of the more famous tricks in Portal 2, known as CFG. Yeah, largely thanks to MSushi.
since I never expected you to make it
Is
this far,
CFG, otherwise
I
known as
have to
crouch
build
flight
this
glitch,
new course just
where
for you.
That.
I have noticed that
if
you
the
two have
player
come
gets into the
straight
funnel and has no
I'm not
speed,
sure I like
they
that.
can crouch, which then tells the game that the player is in 2 funnels. But then once they leave the funnel that they are originally in, it only says, the game just says, oh, they left 1 funnel.
Test chamber complete.
Which then
In
says,
the interest of
the game's
science,
just saying,
the
hey,
enrichment
now the player is in a
system
funnel,
presents
when they're not in a funnel and they just fly.
9, 7,
Um,
50,
But then if you uncrouch, the game will
107.
update your position again. As long as it's in the same level, it'll update your counter again, and will remove you from any funnels if it doesn't actively see you in a funnel, putting you back down to 0 and ultimately. And then here in Funnel Drill, we're not going to see any funnel fly, but we'll just see kind of some intended use of funnels.
You have the
My
patience
bad.
of a saint.
As Turkey will get up there, get the ball, and then get the ball to the end. And
could solve
Plembo
this
doing
puzzle
some
faster on
sick
your own.
backwards hopping.
Orange is dragging you down. There, I've said it.
And then for this one, you're going to notice that the dialogue seemingly just stops. This is because Orange is still hearing dialogue. So the game is still checking for dialogues. And this is where one parent says, yeah, we're here, but the other one says, no, we're not here. We're not here yet. So then that means they're not there yet and they can't move on.
Blue, Orange and I were just discussing.
And then this is a glitch that nobody knows what's happening. All we know is if you crouch and you're in a funnel in a certain situation, you just kind of go noom and you hit the door and your level's over.
I'm not sure I put the two of you together.
May one day we figure out what is happening, because who knows? It's just fast, so we do it.
Fun fact, I'm really bad at that route, so we normally both players go at once in one funnel, but I have to do it separately because I'm very bad at the timing.
And then we'll get to see friendly CFG again.
Oops.
Sorry I missed the beginning of that test.
Did not
I was
hit
just
fly.
talking with the reassembly machine about
Yeah,
you
fly
At the
can
end of
be-
this map,
We
be like
we will
that.
once again taunt. If we miss the timing on this taunt, it triggers one of the longest possible taunts in the game.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that. Are you doing that just to
However,
get away?
arguably,
maybe
it's
the-
one of the cooler taunts, though.
It is a cool taunt because it shoots a portal at the end. So
This next map kind of speaks for itself.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
cooperative polarity. You're gonna see some funnels. You're gonna see some cool testing elements. There's a catapult over there. There's some cool stuff. Oh, by the way, they're at the end of the level. They just jumped over the end gap.
I was asking if
Yeah.
Orange
So
trusted you.
that's kind of the movement
trust
test
you.
of the game, where it's
You are
like,
my favorite
if you
cooperative
know that
testing
you are
subject.
able to clear that gap, then you definitely have good enough movement to start getting some solid times. Even for like top players, that jump can be a bit rough, because if you get a couple bad hops or you mistime your scrolls, then
You hit
lose a
something
bit.
on the ground.
Yeah, or sometimes you just hit something on the ground. But overall,
I never noticed
that map is kind of just the testament of like, hey, you know, if your movement is solid, then you're gonna be able to hit that a decent amount.
I actually golded that map.
I did too.
Let's go. We love golden maps. And then there we just saw friendly CFG again.
Orange would never make it
I
to
would
the
like to
next
point out
reassembly
that
station.
one of my other co-op partners is in the chat complaining about me cheating on them. So
And welcome. We're gonna have to. If the run goes too far downhill, what we can do is we can get the marriage counselor in here and we can figure it
You
out.
both made it.
yeah.
It seems no matter what I try to do to pull you
And
apart in
here
the
we're gonna do a
story,
really
you
cool
just
route
keep
where
going.
both players are gonna hit into each other so that they get launched up to the very top here, and then the other partner is gonna get funneled up. There's also a very cool IL strat for this that does the same thing, except both players are flying in the air and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So
Your
yeah.
brains are too small to feel either of those emotions. So I can trust you 100%.
A little longer dialogues.
Yeah, fun fact, you can play a game of rock, paper, scissors while you're waiting for the dialogue, and there will still be dialogue to wait for.
This next
Nah.
map is awesome.
Yeah.
This is
Here in
the
Funnel
last
Maze,
test for the standard course.
we're gonna do
It's just
more
something I
CFG
could have done
shenanigans.
for you.
But then we're also just gonna shoot through a bit of a faulty collision where that wall, the collision it has is only at the front of the wall, but since the wall comes out far enough, you can just shoot into the back of that wall, which doesn't have collision, and you can just shoot portals through, or you can even grab the cube through it if you are doing a route that requires it. Or I guess Turkey grabbed it through the seam as he was flying by.
Yep.
And Slime Diamond, the view snap is not here. Cannot be found.
The view snap was a couple courses before this.
Yeah.
Or
I'm not view
the,
snapping
the
that.
new mini snap for that map. Which
I'm
is
not
awesome.
view snapping that.
But here we are in Turret Warehouse.
The humans must have
So
accidentally
this is a map where you only need to get one player to the end. So what you're gonna see is Turkey's gonna fly out, he's gonna die, and then Plembo's gonna go through a portal to get to the end with a funnel, and then he's gonna throw the disc into the, Turkey's gonna throw the disc into the
I would watch Turkey here. He's gonna try to get to a secret room.
Nah, I don't know.
Turkey's view is in the bottom right of my screen.
I'm fully connected.
Yeah, he's moving. He's moving. Is he gonna get there? Is he gonna see him?
Nothing bad happened. Excellent.
Yeah, there he is. The companion cube
companion
controls
cube.
all.
Here I'm gonna restart at the beginning of the map. It's gonna skip a big cutscene.
Yeah.
Unoptimal. Basically, once you enter that map the first time, it plays this big cutscene. But if you're entering it for the second time, it doesn't play that cutscene again. So we're basically telling the game that we're entering it for the second time, so that it skips the cutscene and unlocks this course.
Yeah. And then this is going to be the last lobby that we're going to be seeing as we go into the Cave Johnson levels. And we're going to see some cool routes and also the introduction of gels. So
it is something to note that there is a sixth course, but it's not played as often because it was added as DLC afterwards.
Yeah.
So that's the category name. It's all main courses.
Test subjects for it to be science.
And then here with the gels, you're going to see blue and orange gel throughout this. Blue gel being jumpy gel, they jump really high when you bounce off of it. Orange, you go really, really fast. And we get to do some cool stuff with orange gel later in the run.
Course 5 is probably one of my favorite courses to look at and play.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. Yeah.
And then here is another faulty collision thing where for some reason you can shoot through that floor. It's a lot more apparent than just shooting through the bottom of the glass, because there's just like a whole chunk of the floor that you can shoot through rather than, you know, a small little sliver. But it works out for us, because then you can get gel down there, do a big bounce, and go right to the end.
Shout out to the individual leveler out there where you just, instead of using the gel, you shoot 2 portals and fly up through them.
Yeah. Although that route is not legal for full game because it requires turning funneling off. Then here, Plembo is going to go down and shoot a shot to the second part of the level, and then Turkey's going to shoot a couple shots to then get them to the very, very end of the level where the door is. This jump can be a bit finicky, but Plembo gets it second try like a champ.
I accidentally entered the elevator there. Maybe lost like a second or two.
It didn't sound like that bad of a
good fade.
Yeah.
This is actually a pretty good run.
Yeah, this is solid.
Besides that
and
one
then
mistake.
And then here we have wall repulsion, where they're gonna use the lamp that's there as just a bit of collision to jump to the mid room. And
the only good lampstand route.
True. Well. And then here they're going to be using the bridge as well as the portals that were up at the top of the level to jump over this wall at the end. And then beat the level early. Funny thing about that is there is like, as unassuming as that second route is, there are like 6 different speedrun strats that are faster than intended. It's pretty spectacular. But of course the one that Turkey and Plembo did there is probably the easiest one if you want to get a pretty quick route for runs.
Alright, this map I am not good at.
It's okay, you'll get it. This here is going to be the introduction of orange gel, where the first thing Plembo is going to do is he's going to take this orange gel and he is going to try to fly over this sidewall here so that he can get to the end. Not to the end, but to the mid area a bit quicker. But then from the mid area, what he's going to do is he's going to fall all the way down to the bottom of this pillar. And then he's going to shoot a portal surface that you can see just barely through that gap. Almost as if Valve intended it. And then here, Plembo is just going to do some bunny hopping to the end as Turkey places the cube.
Dying
And
humans. If that
level
doesn't
is
motivate you, I'm
go
not
to the
sure
end.
what will.
All things considered, at least I didn't miss the shot at the end.
True.
Sure.
Maybe you two
And
are
then
better
here in
humans.
Turret Ninja, we're going to be
There
doing
are
a pretty cool route.
advantages, you might think.
Here, they're going to be
Gross,
using some scripted momentum so that they can fling up to this laser and then kill these turrets. And then they're just going to do a small little fling to the
Oh
end.
no.
And then it looks like they both went through at weird times, so one
If you
bonked
can't
into the other.
complete
It
these
happens.
tests, we will never
But
free the
luckily,
humans.
Plembo can just get up onto this surface, shoot a couple portals, and then he is on his way. Because that scripted momentum trigger is pretty lenient.
Are you as excited as I am?
And then here we're going to be going into the penultimate level, which is mostly just going to be intended.
Cool word, by the way.
Only one
Huh?
more test after
Cool
death.
word, penultimate.
I know your cores are reused from calculation
Uh,
machines built for simple mathematical operations.
But then
and
Turkey's going to
multiple
do,
testing.
or at least attempt to do a gel
If you
strafe
can
here.
rescue
Which
the
with gel
humans,
strafe,
I
or not
promise
gel
you
strafe,
something
but
to
going to do
add.
a bit of a
Maybe
speed
even
glitch with the gel.
subtract.
Where if you crouch on the gel and move for a little bit, the game will
In case
count the
you're
amount of
worried
time
about the
that you
humans,
are
don't
moving
fear.
forward on
They
orange
aren't
gel.
all monsters.
And then when you
Most of them are
uncrouch,
simply
it'll
good
give
test
you all the
subjects.
speed as
I
if
believe
you
the
were
ratio of
standing the
test
whole
subjects
time
to
while
monsters
doing
is
the
about 1,000,000
the
to
whole
1.
as if you were standing the whole time you're on that shell, giving you a pretty good speed boost.
On to the last map.
Yeah, last map, vault entrance. We're gonna have a small cutscene here, but not too long. Both players are going to be setting up for their individual tasks. Turkey is going to be distracting the turret that's over there. He's going to be trying to grab it. He's unable to. But then the turret is going to get bounced out by blue gel, and then he's going to die. Sorry to say it, but that turret is dead.
You can
and
save
then
them, but I
you
was
can
not
save
fast enough.
It's okay, they only have simulated pain.
True. And then Turkey, or sorry, Plembo
Oh
was
my.
able to shoot up above, was able to get on top of a railing in that midsection, and then was able to get up to this top area sooner, where they're going to hit both of these levers when they're normally supposed to have gel up there to hit both of those levers. But then once they hit both of the levers, they get down to orange, and then
Oh, I didn't
they're both
jump.
going to do a gel strafe, in which it's one of the harder tricks, and it's right at the end of the run.
It's
But by-
unfortunate because we don't have any checkpoints in the map, so if you fail this, you can see in the bottom right of my screen, Turkey has to go all the way back to the beginning of the map.
Yeah,
I'm blaming
it's
it
not
on my mouse. I jumped.
not too much of a detour, but it can definitely be a bit finicky when they're.
What? I jumped.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
my gosh. That
And
was
Stop doing
easily
that.
sub 31
All you
pace.
need to do is
Okay.
open the vault
and then
door.
Turkey is doing what we like to call pulling a Wilbo. Hopefully we don't have to get somebody from the crowd to finish jail straight for him. Oh, the infamous ESA run. But third time's a charm, surely.
Don't jinx it. Okay, I jumped this time.
Something
Yeah,
wrong.
third time's the charm, and then they're gonna
And
do
I
rock
messed up the
paper
thing at the
scissors
end.
right at the end. But to
Why
finish
doesn't it
out the
work?
run,
You
they're both
did.
gonna taunt one more time to get a
Wow.
31-29 IGT, and that's time. All things considered, solid runs. There was only like 3 bumps in there without them. Probably like a 29 or something, but solid run.
Yeah. My graph for this is really funny. Alright.
But yeah, thanks for having us, Jayo. And we were the backup run, but we were gaming. Well, I wasn't gaming, but you know.
It's debatable whether we were gaming.
I think
Hey, you
we're
had
good.
some gaming moments. That
I mean,
co-polarity was.
That was a PB for us, actually.
It
We
was.
also have done 3
PB.
runs.
Hey, a PB is a PB is a PB. Can't be mad at that.
Not
True.
the team player.
Also, shout out these random Valve developers.
Yep.
Shout out Andrew Burke.
Horrible people skills.
Shout out Andrew Wolf.
Yep.
Oh, there's like 5 Andrews. What has happened?
Never shares.
Valve gotta hire people that ain't named Andrew.
Augusta Butland.
There's 2 Bills. 2 Brandons.
Always sleeping.
This is crazy. I've never looked at these names. It's weird to see as many names as there are.
Chad Weaver.
2 Charlies.
Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown.
2 Chris's. 3 Chris. 4
Christian.
Chris. 5 Chris. 6 Chris's.
6! Oh my
Oh
god!
my god, there were 7 Chris's.
And then
Oh
the
my
Christopher
God.
as well.
No, he's a Christopher. He's not a Chris.
Dan Berger.
Why was there 7 Chris's? How have I never noticed this?